May the spirit of our lost ancestors rest in perfect peace. Ashe. An awareness of our past is essential to the establishment of our personalities and our identities as Africans. That's a quote from Emperor Haile Selassie. From Marcus Messiah Garvey Jr., actually borrowed by Bob Marley. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery, none but ourselves can free our minds. On this land, among the people of Benin, Togo, and Ghana, we have this common African proverb we stated: until the tales of the hunt is told by the lions, the hunt will always glorify the hunters. In actual circumstances, in many contexts, all I'm trying to say today is that as Africans, we are struggling to tell our own stories. We are struggling to put our narratives across, and it's not because we don't have them. We have absolutely everything it takes for us to tell our own history. But then systems tend to be fighting against our history being told. A typical example, I use the United States of America. In the United States of America, the African history, or the black history, is called critical race theory. And ever since I heard this word, I've been asking myself, what is it about the history of my people out there that is critically racial that they don't want them to tell their stories? What is it about us that is so racial that they don't want us to know who our ancestors were, or the stories of our ancestors? Each time I ask these questions, I get only 3 answers. The first answer was that for nearly 400 years, our ancestors were held captives. In chains and shackles, they were moved across oceans, across this land and the ocean for about 6,000, 7,000 miles away from this land. They got to a new world, into a different condition, different atmosphere. They had to work on plantations day in, day out. They survived. After slave trade came to an end, they had to go through Jim Crow, lynching, segregation, and several other systems. We stood strong through those chains and shackles and through those obstacles. Our ancestors survived, so they will leave a legacy of history for us. You see, information, they say, is power. Once kept away from the people who are supposed to benefit from it, they are being rendered powerless. If they keep the narrative and the history away from you, how then do you get empowerment? They've realized how the ancestors were tough in those chains and shackles, and surviving it, knowing about them, is going to empower us more, so they don't want that for us. That way they can narrate the story to us in a way that will benefit them, not us. That way they can control us. Secondly, we live in a society full of these systems, governed by the Europeans. If I get to know my history, I teach my brothers and sisters, they go to school and they teach their friends. Because the little ones, the moment you teach them something new, they don't keep it to themselves. They go out there asking even their teachers if they know about it. So they gather their friends in the cafeteria and tell them more about these topics. They said the